morning everyone. I've not done a vlog for a while and I decided to do one today. It's a slightly different sort of a one for you all. Today is quite a big day for me and my youngest son. We have been asked to go and speak at a conference, an orthotists conference in Harrogate at the conference centre there. So it's probably, I think, one of the biggest conference centres in the country. No pressure. And so yeah, we've been asked to go and speak there about our son's experiences with having the condition pectus carinatum, and they've asked if I will speak as well from the parent point of view. So we're off there just now in a minute, and it is now 8:30 and we will be heading off there. The conference starts at 10 to 10, and then my son and I are both on talking, doing our little presentation bit in between some of the other orthotists. So I'll see if I can get any filming there. It might be hard, but I'll see what I can do, and I'll let you know afterwards how it's gone. We're in the car heading to Harrogate, to the conference centre, where we will be speaking to the orthotists about pectus carinatum. So, not about cheese. This is supposed to be a serious one here, and you're talking about cheese. I apologise. I'm always apologising to you on these vlogs. Maybe I should actually film him so that would shut him up, he wouldn't want to be on them. Shall I do that? Turn the camera to you? So yes, anyway, I will let you know how we go on when it is done. It is now 9 o'clock, and by 11 o'clock we should be finished. Morning everyone. I'm Claire, Ethan's mum, and I'm here to briefly speak about my experiences of Ethan living with pectus carinatum. When I first noticed Ethan's chest and the difference in the shape of his chest, I decided to have a look online to find out what it might be. I know that's not necessarily always the best thing to do, but I stuck with looking at the proper medical websites. The main NHS website at the time didn't mention anything about pectus carinatum or pigeon chest anywhere. I realise that might be different now. Some individual hospital sites, however, did have pages about the condition. They explained what it is and said the only treatment was an operation. As I read what the operation involved, it upset me a great deal to think that this was what we were going to have to put Ethan through. And I realised that there was no way that we could do this if there was an alternative treatment available. I then had a look at websites of some private clinics. Most of them were in the London area, which offered chest bracing as a treatment for pectus carinatum. I therefore assumed that this treatment was only available privately. Although it was expensive, we were prepared to do what was needed to make this happen if it was the best thing for Ethan. It was only when we saw Mr Crabbe and then Ethan's second appointment, Miss Sybotham, at Leeds General Infirmary, that we realised that the NHS Trust did offer chest bracing. It came as a huge relief, and we realised how lucky we were when we were told how few NHS trusts offer this. I have since then read on social media about many people in similar situations who are not offered chest bracing as a treatment, and whose GPs tell them it's just a cosmetic issue. Knowing how difficult the condition was for Ethan and how much it affected his social life, I know that it is much more than being just cosmetic. Some people have raised funds themselves with help from family and friends so that they can get a chest brace through a private clinic instead. At our first appointment at the orthotics department at Seacroft Hospital, we met Kate. She was very friendly and put us at ease, answered all our questions and made sure that we knew what to expect. I knew straight away Kate was going to be an amazing support to both Ethan, myself and my husband. Her enthusiasm and her confidence that the bracing would work for Ethan because his chest was still flexible were very encouraging for all of us. I'll never forget seeing the expression on Ethan's face when he saw Kate say that the bracing would work for him. It's a memory that I will always keep. I could see that wearing a chest brace wasn't easy to begin with. However, because Ethan understood what was involved and knew what the outcome would hopefully be, this meant that he wanted to wear it and he persevered when it was tough. It would have been so easy for him to have just given up in those first few weeks when he was in pain, but he didn't. He wanted to carry on and he had the perseverance to do so. We are incredibly proud of Ethan for doing this. As much support as he gets from us as his parents and from Kate and all the doctors, in the end it's down to the patient, it's down to Ethan to want to persevere with this. Being able to contact Kate between appointments when we have had any problems or questions has been a big help, especially when Ethan did have to stop wearing the brace because it was hurting his chest. I was able to contact Kate and explain the problem, and that was when we had the softer pad made. Since then, there's been no going back for him. As a parent, I've also found it helpful to join social media support groups with other parents who have already gone through similar experiences, who are able to offer advice or even to just be able to chat to, which has been very helpful and at times comforting because it can be quite daunting for the parents as well. Finally, we would like to thank everyone for the amazing support we've received. Our GP, Mr Cragg and Miss Sidebotham at LGI, and especially Kate at Steeper. We are lucky to live in an area where chest bracing is available, and I really hope that in the future this treatment will be available to anyone who would benefit from it wherever they live. Thank you.
Now turn left. So we are now finished and we are heading home. I didn't talk about cheese either. Did you notice I didn't mention cheese? Keeping quiet now.
I would have been interested to find out what's an orthotist's favourite cheese.
Why would you want to know what an orthotist's favourite cheese is? That sounds like it's some sort of joke. So anyway, forget about the cheese talk. We are on our way home and I will fill you in more when we get back about how it all went. Hey everyone, so I'm back. As you can see, we are back home from the conference at Harrogate Conference Centre. It went so well. Our son was absolutely fantastic. He spoke incredibly well. There were quite a lot of people actually, orthotists there, which was encouraging to see because obviously they were there because they wanted to be and they wanted to learn. Hang on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so all the orthotists that were there because they wanted to learn and know more about the condition and hopefully offer chest bracing for pectus carinatum in hospitals where they work, because at the moment, like I've said before, it's not really very widely available in this country. So anyway, it went really well. My husband did actually film as my son spoke and as I spoke. Now I am going to put what I said into this vlog. It's not too well, I think it was about maybe 3 minutes, I'm not sure. I'm not going to put in what my son said because I don't think he'd really appreciate that, and yeah, I'm going to keep that. That's just like for him to have, for him to look back on. So I hope you enjoyed or found it informative or enjoyed sort of listening to me, what I said when we were there, and let me know what you think of it. Now, as you can probably tell, we are on a different day. Probably the clothes give it away. I just decided I wanted to add a little bit more onto the end of this vlog. I'm just sitting editing it now with my cup of coffee in my new cup. So yeah, I'm just sitting editing it, and I just wanted to say, I wanted to add on that if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask me, or from the parent perspective point of view of having a child with the condition pectus carinatum, or if you have a question that you would like to put to my son, then feel free to ask the question either in the description box down below here on YouTube, or you can ask me over on Twitter. My handle name, as it says on the thumbnail, is @Bella_Astro. So you can head over there and ask me the question. If it's not a question you want to put on to Twitter itself, then feel free to let me know you have a question, follow me, I will follow you back, and you can ask me the question in a private message, which is absolutely fine. Like I've said before, I really want to do my best to try and help and support other people who are going through this maybe. And so yeah, if you have any questions, then ask. I shall, if it is a question for my son, I will obviously ask him myself and then get back to you. And I hope you have found this vlog interesting to watch and informative, like I said, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me speak yesterday at the conference. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. There's lots of a huge variety of vlogs that I usually put up on here, and please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.